Welcome, my name is Alden Reed and you are watching Arcane Tablets. Thank you for joining me. Today we are continuing to introduce each of the 12 color tribes individually. As you can see, our journey now brings us to the Levant and North Africa, the homeland of the Gold color tribe. If you are not familiar with color tribes, I have a few videos up on my various channels and platforms which can provide you with some important introductory material. Basically, there are 12 human color tribes, and each tribe represents a color from the visible light spectrum or rainbow. Each color tribe has its own unique set of physical color characteristics, which symbolically anchor a unique metaphysical color energy. So as always, we like to start by situating ourselves geographically. As we might imagine, primary regions are areas where the Gold tribe is going to be clearly predominant, while secondary regions are areas where the Gold tribe is still present but probably more color blended, and where other color tribes are in some cases more predominant. Primary regions include Israel, Lebanon, coastal Syria, Cyprus, Kurdistan, Egypt, Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, and Western Sahara. Secondary regions include Palestine, Jordan, Turkey, Armenia, Spain, Portugal, Italy, Greece, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Iran, the Gulf states, Saharan Africa, and Central Europe. So here we have a map of the core regions of each color tribe, which will help give you a sense of where the other color tribes are located as well. And again, we can see the core area here is really in the Levant and running all throughout Mediterranean North Africa. This is where we're going to find the greatest amount of mono gold people, right? The people who strongly represent those gold physical color characteristics and channel that gold metaphysical color energy. Now let's take a look at the greater gold region. So here's a map of the greater gold region, and this is going to help give us an even better sense of where we might find gold people, either mono gold people or in many of these cases, color blended gold people. So of course we've got our core area here running down to the Levant and very much in coastal North Africa, which we've already identified, right? But there's going to be a lot of gold physical color characteristics and gold color energy really all throughout the northern part of Saharan Africa, we might say. Absolutely cutting all the way down into Western Sahara and even down into Mauritania and Mali, and a little bit in the northern regions of Niger and Chad and Sudan, and even cutting down into Eritrea and perhaps even Ethiopia a little bit. And you will find some gold physical color characteristics as well, all throughout parts of Arabia, very much also, especially in the northern areas in Kuwait and in a lot of regions in Iraq, and very much in parts of western Iran as well. And throughout Azerbaijan and Armenia and Georgia, you'll find some examples. Of course, there's going to be a lot of copper people in these regions here, blended with gold people. And of course, a lot of bronze people, color blended with gold people, especially in these regions, in addition to a lot of mono bronze and mono copper people, of course, in those areas. And then as we get further north, there's going to be some blending here with some of the blue tribe, right? And certainly we'll find a lot of gold physical color characteristics throughout Turkey, but there's going to be a lot more green people, I should say, in these areas, right? And that's the same thing with Mediterranean Europe. This is mostly going to be an area where we're going to find a lot of green people and green physical color characteristics, but there'll still be a decent amount of gold people and a lot of color blended gold-green people throughout all these regions. And then even extending a little bit further up into parts of Eastern Europe and Central Europe and down into France as well, you'll still find some physical color characteristics that we would associate it with the gold tribe. And of course, also more historically, there have been a lot of gold people that did migrate into some of these areas a little bit more north here, which I don't have perfectly captured on the map. Of course, a lot of these areas are a lot less gold today due to the very tragic events, of course, related to World War II. Naturally, though, there's been plenty of gold people that have migrated to other regions of the world, really all throughout history. The gold tribe has a tendency to travel and move very far away from their ancestral homelands of sort of the southern Mediterranean zone here. So you'll still find some residual gold physical color characteristics and color energy throughout other parts of Eurasia, and of course throughout some other parts of Africa as well. And then more recently, of course, many gold people or color blended gold people have migrated from these regions or from the Jewish diaspora in Europe to areas of North and South America. And obviously, we'll find plenty of mono gold or color blended gold people, especially in some of these regions today as well. So there are actually two kinds of melanin that influence human physical characteristics: eumelanin and pheomelanin. Eumelanin is a darker pigment that comes in shades of brown and black, and people from tropical regions usually have a lot of eumelanin in their skin, eyes, and hair. Conversely, people from temperate regions usually have much less eumelanin in their skin, and often less in their eyes and hair as well. Pheomelanin is a lighter pigment that comes in shades of red and yellow, so tribes which represent a color that includes red and or yellow do indeed have subtle red and or yellow hues and undertones in their skin. The key point here is that there is no blue pheomelanin, and as a result, tribes that represent a color that includes blue don't have skin colors with similar subtle blue hues or undertones. Instead, these tribes signal their color alignment with other physical characteristics, like lighter hair and eye colors, especially blue eyes. Mono gold people usually have small amounts of brown eumelanin in their skin, mixed with moderate amounts of yellow pheomelanin, which imbues them with a variety of golden undertones that range from light honey to amber. Their skin tans very nicely, and they often have a radiant and luminous golden complexion. Mono gold people have hair which ranges from dark brown to black, which is usually thick and shiny and either straight or wavy. Their eyes are typically almond-shaped or large and expressive, and range in color from dark brown to hazel, though occasionally they are green or blue. Mono gold people normally have oval or heart-shaped faces with high cheekbones and prominent structure around the eyes. Their jaw lines are generally more narrow in size and quite elegant, frequently forming a soft point or rounded triangle. They usually have moderate-sized, naturally well-defined lips. Mono gold people typically have small and straight or gently aquiline noses, which are rarely blunt or flat. Their bodies are normally slender and well-balanced, with graceful and refined curves, well-proportioned upper and lower body segments, and medium-sized builds. Much like the copper and bronze tribes, they have sinewy musculature, which provides them with a lean and wiry strength. Mono gold men tend to have moderate and well-defined body hair and facial hair. They often grow naturally well-groomed and full beards. So before we continue, we need to talk about universal energy signatures and metaphysical correspondences. In basic terms, UES are raw primal energetic forces that imbue many different things and categories within reality, especially key metaphysical systems like astrology, archetypes, chakras, and color tribes. As a result, specific units or attributes from each of these metaphysical systems, like Libra, the evaluator, the heart chakra, and gold, share natural corresponding relationships with the other attributes imbued by the same UES. Energy signatures also imbue each color tribe with gender, quality, and elemental energies. By studying each color tribe's aspects and corresponding attributes, we can learn about their unique metaphysical color energy. In truth, all human beings are meant to represent a color from the visible light spectrum. Using these color terms helps us more accurately describe human appearances, but they also help us understand each tribe's metaphysical color energy as well. Color energy strongly influences the creation of cultures, ethnic groups, and nationalities. So although each of these metaphysical systems are imbued by the same set of primal universal energy signatures, each of them has a primary sphere of influence where they tend to be more predominant. Astrology primarily influences our core personality, basic approach towards life, and fundamental sense of individual being. It governs our inner or emotional lives and core personal relationships with family, friends, lovers, and co-workers. It is the most complex of the spiritual sciences and the most attuned to who we are as multifaceted individual beings. Color energy primarily influences our cultural values, our attitudes towards governance, and the formation of social systems. It also gives people a specific color comportment or way of carrying and conducting themselves in public. Naturally, color-blended people have a more diverse, color-blended color energy. Archetypes primarily influence our professional life or the main reason, purpose, or goal behind our current incarnation. Primary archetypes define our core profession or purpose, while secondary archetypes modulate this primary energy. In essence, primary and secondary archetypes combine to make 144 unique sub-archetypes. To be clear, these spheres of influence are not mutually exclusive, and to a certain extent, these UES-imbued metaphysical attributes are layered on top of each other and do create a cumulative stacking effect. Nevertheless, each system does tend to predominate in these different spheres. So now let's go over the Gold Tribe's aspects and corresponding metaphysical attributes to help us get a better idea of what gold color energy is like. The Gold Tribe is a masculine cardinal air tribe, and they are aligned with the heart chakra, the astrological sign Libra, and the number 7. They are also aligned with the evaluator archetype, which is very similar to the archetypal energy of the uncle, the merchant, the lawyer, and the financier. The core essence of these archetypes is balance. Mono gold color features are thoroughly saturated with metaphysical gold color energy. Their bodies and physique perfectly symbolize gold's masculine cardinal and air aspects, while also naturally synchronizing with gold's corresponding attributes, Libra, the evaluator, and the heart chakra. Mono gold people have very polished and rich skin tones, airbrushed by coastal winds and illuminated by the desert sun. They look perfectly at home in the land of milk and honey. They have a light and yet engaging physical presence, and their facial expressions usually convey softness, warmth, and serenity. With finely chiseled symmetrical facial features, delicate but well-defined bone structure, and skin polished like burnished gold, their bodies appear perfectly measured by the evaluator's keen sensibilities and balanced by Libra's scales. Their movements are purposeful but still quite graceful, and they float from space to space with ease, direction, and style. Their gaze is often intense and contemplative, with eyes that are sometimes flickering between weighing all the available options and other times deeply focused on evaluating worth and beauty. Indeed, their expressive hands and keen eyes further capture the essence of Libra and the merchant, always ready with a warm gesture or subtle flourish, always evaluating, estimating, and judging. The Gold Tribe was the 7th color tribe to fully congeal in its ancestral homelands shortly after the Age of Aries began in 2308 BC. It was right around this time period that the Bronze, Gold, and Green tribes fully separated and differentiated themselves from their original Bronze, Gold, Green bloc, which collectively initiated the Neolithic agricultural revolution and spread it throughout much of Western Eurasia during the ages of Gemini and Taurus, which lasted from 6628 to 2308 BC. In the Maghreb, the Gold Tribe congealed to create the Amazi culture, while in the Levant and coastal Egypt, the Gold Tribe congealed to create the Western Semitic culture. As the Bronze Eastern Semitic culture and Bronze Iranian pastoralists began building the first large territorial empires in Mesopotamia and the Iranian foothills, the Gold Tribe slowly began absorbing more Bronze culture and technology, first in the Levant and later largely thanks to the Phoenicians in the Maghreb as well. In the Levant, this cultural diffusion gave birth to the Abrahamic tradition, which was appropriately initiated by a Bronze refugee from the collapsing Sumerian civilization. However, being imbued with masculine cardinal air energy and aligned with Libra, the evaluator archetype, and the heart chakra, the Gold Tribe naturally imprinted their own unique color energy on the civilizational package they largely inherited from their Bronze Mesopotamian cousins. Like all masculine tribes, the Gold Tribe tends to create cultures with an expansionist drive, but unlike the fire-imbued Bronze Tribe, the air-imbued Gold Tribe has generally preferred to expand more gradually via trade rather than more dramatically via war. Certainly, there are plenty of exceptions to this pattern, such as the Carthaginian expansion during the Classical period or the Amazi expansion into Iberia during the early medieval period, But overall, Western Semitic and Amazigh cultures have generally been more interested in gaining wealth via trade than warfare. It is important to be clear that people from all color tribes, masculine and feminine, fire, earth, air, and water, have from time to time engaged in military conquest of neighboring regions. However, when we study the past 6,000 years of history in great depth, we can see that certain patterns clearly emerge, and certain color tribes, depending on their metaphysical color energy, have more frequently engaged in military expansionism than others. The masculine cardinal air energy expressed by the Gold tribe and Libra has always been far more well known for mercantile and financial conquests than bald-faced warlordism and military adventurism. Like other air tribes, the Gold tribe generally prefers governments led by financial oligarchs or skilled technocrats who might not always be democratic, but are generally still at least mildly progressive and responsive to the needs of the collective. Preferring to trade rather than fight, Gold tribe cultures have often used wealth acquired by trade and artisanal production to buy off aggressive empires, but this strategy has not always worked. From the legendary sea peoples to the Assyrians, Babylonians, Persians, Greeks, Romans, Arabs, Crusaders, Mongols, and Ottomans, the Levant has been racked by foreign invasions from ancient times to the present, which is perhaps one reason why the modern gold Israeli state has adopted a far more bellicose position towards other nations than many of their ancient predecessors. That being said, the majority of gold or color-blended gold people continue to exemplify typical gold cultural values, preferring to use their skills to produce fine goods, build businesses, and engage in international trade. The Gold tribe also played a vital role in helping humanity pass from the heart to the throat chakras by forging many long-distance trade networks throughout medieval Eurasia, which were key in helping to forge the East-West cultural link that climaxed during the Pax Mongolica, allowing the wisdom and technology from the Bronze Arab Caliphates and the Yellow Tang and Song dynasties to spread across Europe during the Renaissance. This process was of course facilitated by their sister tribe, as Green Greeks and Italians were also vital in helping to diffuse the knowledge of the Middle and Far East among their Atlantic Scion European cousins. Indeed, the Gold and Green heart chakra tribes situated in the Mediterranean sphere have always excelled at forging cultural connections between the solar plexus chakra tribes, Bronze and Yellow, and the throat chakra tribes, Cyan and Blue. While this is in part due to the fact that gold and green physical color characteristics make them a natural bridge between these two groups, it is also because of their metaphysical color energy, and in many ways the Gold tribe, channeling that air-infused balanced Libra energy, have excelled at being cultural intermediaries more than any other color tribe. From ancient times to the present, Phoenician, Jewish, and Amazigh merchants have traveled and established enclaves throughout the known world, building vast trading networks that have helped to forge cultural connections and bring technological diffusion to even the most far-flung regions of the earth. In 1,000 different ways, we can easily see how this masculine cardinal air energy, so closely aligned with Libra, the evaluator archetype, and the heart chakra, has so thoroughly imbued gold cultures for the past 4,000 years. All right, thank you for joining me on this journey of human color tribe exploration and celebration of human diversity. Please like, subscribe, and share this video with others. Next up, we're going to journey to Southern Europe and Anatolia and find out what is going on with the green color tribe. For now, I want you to know that you are wonderful, you are beautiful, and you are absolutely perfect, just the way you are. Know that I love you very much and that God loves you very much as well. Many blessings. We will see you again very soon.